Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pulla and here's what we have in the bulletin.
Two fires erupted Thursday night at Riverton site. Hanover recovery advances, Hurricane Melissa grants reach families. And later in sports, Jamaica lose to Bahamas in FIBA World Cup qualifiers.
And a special welcome to our viewers on YouTube, TVJ International in the Cayman Islands, and online at onespotmedia.com. Now the details. Up first this afternoon, two fires broke out shortly after 11 p.m. on Thursday at the Riverton disposal site. This is the second fire at the site in a week. The Jamaica Fire Brigade responded immediately. On-site personnel joined efforts to contain the blazes. Teams are using cover materials to reduce smoke and environmental damage. Preliminary reports suggest the fires may have been set deliberately. Audley Gordon said containment continues. There is sufficient equipment and personnel on site. Updates will be shared with the public as they become available. The National Hurricane Center has concluded that Hurricane Melissa was stronger than initially recorded, tying it with Hurricane Allen in 1980 for the most intense hurricane ever observed in the Atlantic Basin by wind speed. In its final tropical cyclone report on the October 2025 storm, Melissa's maximum sustained winds were upgraded to 306 kilometers or 190 miles per hour from the 298 kilometers or 185 miles per hour estimated at the time of landfall in Jamaica. Melissa broke another record when it intensified to Category 5 strength on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale before landfall. It is tied for strongest landfall with the Labor Day hurricane of 1935 and Dorian in 2019. Recovery efforts in Hanover are steadily gaining momentum following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Millions of dollars in grant funding are now being distributed to affected families. Anthony Atkinson reports.
The road to recovery after Hurricane Melissa is advancing in Hanover, with more than $334.2 million now in the hands of households under the government's Shelter Restoration Initiative. Under the program, households classified as major receive $200,000 through a digital wallet, while those in the severe category receive $500,000. Of that amount, $75,000 is available for immediate needs, with the remaining balance restricted to the purchase of building materials at participating hardware stores. Speaking at a handover ceremony in Lucy, Minister Pernell Charles Jr. provided updates.
The government is constrained, meaning the money that we have has to be spent a particular way or we will have problem. So when we give you, which is why we have been saying it over time, when we give you, that money has to be spent to buy material for your home. How you deal with it is that is your decision. But we don't have any choice other than to give you in that form other than the 75,000. I know it is difficult. I know it poses some issue, but try and hear me now. You have to find a way to determine how you want to manage it.
He also revealed that more than 96,000 assessments have been completed island-wide to ensure what he described as fair, transparent, and accountable delivery of support.
We use two principles in how we distribute the money. We prioritize severity, which means we're trying to give the persons who were most hardest hit first. That makes sense? The second principle is that we target vulnerability, which means whether you are minor, major, or severe, if you are a senior citizen who don't have no help, that means it hit you hard.
The minister emphasized that all disbursements under the program are secure and fully traceable. Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
The government of Jamaica is moving to amend the Litter Act as part of renewed efforts to tackle illegal dumping and improve public cleanliness. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the government will be reviewing and increasing fines under the Litter Act, but he cautioned that stricter penalties alone will not be effective without full public cooperation.
You could put all the statute on the books. If the Jamaican people do have a change of mind, then it is not going to work. And I must tell you that is not all of Jamaica is dirty. There are many parts of Jamaica right across the country, in inner city communities, upscale communities, that you go there, you are very, very happy to see the condition. But there are other areas where the garbage is being just littered. People have no conscience.
But Mr. McKenzie pointed to a wider problem, noting that garbage operators across the island are increasingly encroaching on sidewalks and roadways.
Car dealers selling motor vehicles using the public thoroughfare, restricting road access to virtually one-lane traffic in some places. The government cannot continue to allow this to happen and for people to continue to break the law in the way in which it is being done.
He says changes are expected to take effect in the new legislative year with a target date set for mid-year. The political directorate says significant effort has gone into identifying and assessing the homes of residents impacted by Hurricane Melissa. This is amid complaints from some who claim they have not been visited months after the storm.
I'm grateful for it because I don't know where would I find that money because I'm a widow, I have no one.
A grateful resident. She received help after nearly 4 months of uncertainty. Like hundreds of people in Westmoreland, she was left displaced by Hurricane Melissa, and she promised she will use the grant for one thing, to repair the roof of her house. The Minister of Labour and Social Security says there are 6 elements to the state's hurricane rebuilding program. The restoration of owner or occupant family shelter roofs element alone will involve $1.2 billion worth of help.
That's not monkey money, because it is going out to more than 96,250 households that we have assessed. And those of that 96,000 that are falling within those categories will get a grant from the government or some support under the shelter recovery program. If you're not getting under the roofs program, then you will get support directly from government under the government-led repair program, where the government steps in, provides the labor and the material and helps to fix your roof.
Mr. Charles Jr. reminded Jamaicans in hard-hit areas the government will not restore their homes in disaster-prone areas.
If you are on land that you don't own and it is making you vulnerable to disaster, what do you want the government to do? Build back your house where it is putting you in danger, or to find somewhere to put you? So that is the 6th element, where the government will be working with the community to identify spaces where we can build forward stronger, to make there be resilience.
Last week, TVJ News reported on the complaint of some Westmoreland families who said they have not yet been assessed for assistance. MP for Eastern Westmoreland, Dr. Dayton Campbell, says a lot of work has gone into trying to find all those in need.
I have been sending out the messages to persons and asking those individuals who have not yet been assessed to forward their information so I can share it with them, and I have done so. So I think for the most part, the majority of persons would have been assessed in Eastern Westmoreland because I've been at it for a long time. You know, the different communities checking with them and reporting back into.
Aliyah Bryant, TVJ News.